tasters, some wine descriptors just make sense. We all know what we mean by berries or oak, and it's easy enough to work out where these aromas have come from. But what about describing wines as having salty notes? What is salinity in wine? Let's be clear, a salty wine will not taste like seawater. That's not what the term refers to. Salinity in wine is a little bit more complex and nuanced. Wines described as salty tend to be unoaked whites that are very high in acidity. They may bring to mind briny olives or oysters. They may remind you of sea breezes or even create the sensation that you've just licked a rock. In fact, many considered salinity to be a subcategory of minerality. But minerality is in itself a highly controversial wine descriptor. I think part of the problem is that a strictly scientific approach would look for evidence of salt in wine, and that's highly unlikely. Also, even if we were to discover some evidence of sodium chloride in your wine, there's no getting away from the fact that salt doesn't have any smell. All salts are odorless. But you see, wine tasting is not a chemical analysis. Wine tasting is an emotional interaction with our wine. And that's why our memory is so intensely involved in wine tasting. We don't just recall wine descriptors, we recall experiences that we associate with those wine descriptors. My opinion? No matter how cool you look in your lab coat, it's not fair to ever say that the taster's emotional association is wrong. So with that in mind, what is salinity in wine? Where does salinity in wine come from? There are many theories. Saline notes can be an expression of soil. They are certainly associated with vineyards that flourish in very specific rocky soils. And this can be true for soils that are very far from the sea too. Let's not forget that, for example, in Cyprus, the Troodos mountain range rises a full 2,000 meters above sea level. But once it was the floor of an ancient ocean called Tethys. That was 92 million years ago, but the seashells are still there. The distinct smell of sea air can be due to a compound called Dimethyl Sulfide. Who would have thought that plankton could actually be rather pleasant? The fact is that this compound, dimethyl sulfide or DMS, can be naturally found in most wines due to the breakdown of amino acids that contain sulfur. In amounts that do not exceed our sensory threshold, DMS can actually greatly enhance the complexity of our wine. Proximity to the sea has also been cited as a factor. It's possible that salt from the sea can be carried in sea breezes or moisture in the air and deposited on grape skins. After all, that is part of the region's terroir. Let's say terroir. Any takers? No? Okay. Although salinity has been detected in some Australian Shiraz and even Pinot Noir, it is most common in very bright white wines. Great examples of wines with distinct salinity include Etna Bianca from Sicily, Chablis, Muscadet, and of course, Assyrtiko. Especially Assyrtiko from the Greek island of Santorini. Santorini's rocky soils emerged from the bottom of the sea during a volcanic eruption, and Santorini vines are literally whipped by the winds of the Aegean Sea. I love living in Cyprus. Right now it's the 29th of November and the weather looks like this. And you know what? All this salty air is making me crave some wine. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. How do you feel about salinity in wine? Let me know in a comment below. I'm off to the shops to buy some Assyrtiko. I will see you on the next video.